You hear that? That's the sound of your destiny knocking on your skull because you almost scrolled past the one message the universe has been trying to shove in your face. For years, don't blink. Don't breathe. Don't move. Because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of truth that snatches people by the throat. The kind of truth that makes even the demons you've outrun turn around and say, "Oh, they woke up." Ladies, gentlemen, and all the beautiful disasters who crawled here looking for a sign, you showed up at the perfect moment. You know, I've been watching you. Not in a creepy way, no. More like the way a storm watches the ground it's about to destroy. The way a king observes the castle that once exiled him. The way a shadow waits for the fool who thinks they can outrun the dark. And what I've learned about you, oh, it's delicious because they tried, didn't they? Oh, they tried so hard. They tried to replace you, tried to act like you were disposable, recyclable, replaceable, like you were just some page in their little story that they could tear out, wrinkle up, and toss into the trash. But let me tell you something they discovered far too late. You weren't a page. You were the plot twist. You weren't the extra. You were the main character they didn't know they needed until the whole script fell apart without you. They thought removing you would make their world quieter, calmer, more predictable. Instead, everything collapsed. The walls cracked. The foundations trembled. The shadows whispered your name like a prophecy they tried to burn. Because your absence wasn't silence. Your absence was an earthquake. The truth they hid from you. Let's get something straight. People don't try to replace you because you're weak. They try to replace you because you make them feel small. You walked into rooms and made people reconsider their relevance. You breathed, and entire groups recalculated their position in the food chain. Your presence was a threat they pretended to be immune to. They wanted a version of you they could control. They couldn't, so they tried to build a cheaper copy. But every knockoff breaks, every imitation cracks, every replica gets exposed under pressure, and when they finally held that replacement up to the light, compared it to you, measured it against the real thing, oh, the panic. The realization, the horror, because there's something truly terrifying about recognizing the one person you underestimated is the one person you can never replace. Let me paint the scene. Imagine them now, sitting with the copy of you they thought would fill the void, checking the seams, noticing the flaws, realizing the spark isn't there, the magic isn't there, the fire isn't there. You were unpredictable, untamed, raw, alive, and the replacement? A cardboard cutout, a placeholder, a puppet without your chaos, a puppet without your brilliance, and puppets don't build empires, you do. The part they'll never admit you weren't replaceable. You were the blueprint, the backbone, the spark, the wild card, the reason things worked in the first place. You were the only one who could bring order to the madness, or madness to the order, depending on what the moment demanded. They wanted your shine without your struggle, your glow without your grit, your results without your journey. But here's the fun part. They forgot that what you carry isn't teachable, isn't stealable, isn't duplicable. What you carry, you were forged with. Built with, cursed with, blessed with. It's in your bones, your scars, your silence, your rage, your resilience. The version of you that survived the fires they threw you into isn't someone you can print out on a machine. They thought they could remove you from the equation without the entire equation collapsing. He tilts his head, smiles, wider, wider. Turns out, you were the equation. And here's where you rise. Now you walk different, talk different, glow different, move different. Not because you changed. No, because you finally realized they tried to replace you. Because they knew you were irreplaceable. And now you're not proving anything. Now you're not chasing validation. Now you're not begging anyone to see your worth. Now you're doing what terrifies them most. You're becoming the version of yourself they prayed you'd never step into. The version that knows its power. The version that doesn't need permission. The version that doesn't shrink anymore. The version that doesn't apologize for existing. The version that doesn't fit into boxes because it builds the boxes now. The final blow. So let them talk. Let them regret. Let them replay the moments they took you for granted. Let them choke on the silence you left behind. Because your comeback, it's not loud. It's not desperate. It's not dramatic. It's inevitable. And when they finally turn around, hoping to find you where they left you, oh no, you won't be there. You'll be above. You'll be farther. You'll be untouchable. You'll be everything they couldn't handle and everything they wish they hadn't lost. They tried to replace you. Then they realized. A slow grin spreads across his face. Eyes gleam with fire. You were the only real thing they ever had. Laugh, rise, walk away, burn brighter. Because you're not replaceable. You're the whole damn legend. Welcome to the moment that flips your entire story upside down. Chapter 1. Oh, the world that tried to erase you. You know what fascinates me? People think they're so clever. They think you can remove someone like you, someone carved out of storms and survival, and the world will simply go on. They think they can throw you aside like old furniture, replace you with a cheaper model. Pretend they don't feel the emptiness your absence carved into their lives. They think if they mimic your mannerisms, steal your phrases, copy your ideas, duplicate your presence, they can be you fools. They don't understand that some souls come once. Not once in a lifetime, not once in a century, once in existence, and you are one of them. When you left, the world didn't stay the same. It rotted, it shifted, it collapsed in ways too subtle for their egos to admit. They didn't lose someone. They lost the only person who made things work, the only person who kept the darkness from swallowing everything whole. They didn't just remove you. They unraveled their own foundation. Chapter 2. The Secret. They never spoke out loud. Let me share a little secret. People don't replace what they don't fear losing. People don't compete with what doesn't threaten them. People don't sabotage what doesn't shine. You weren't replaced because you were weak. You were targeted because you were dangerous. Because the truth is, you carried knowledge they couldn't comprehend, grit they couldn't replicate, strength they couldn't match, presence they couldn't steal, energy they couldn't fake. You had a gravity that pulled attention without trying. A fire that warmed and burned at the same time. A mind that cut through lies like glass, shattering on marble floors. You had something they couldn't manufacture: authenticity, edge, soul, depth. And the kind of pain that turns into power instead of excuses. They tried to replace you because your existence reminded them how small they were. Chapter 3. The replacement they chose. Let's talk about the replacement. Oh, it's hilarious. You'd laugh too if you saw it the way I do. They picked someone safer, someone easier to predict, someone who wouldn't challenge them, someone who doesn't glow, only imitates light like a plastic diamond under cheap neon A copy, a shadow, a puppet. And puppets? They dance beautifully until real life hits them with a storm. Then strings break, Paint chips, masks slip, and suddenly, the comparison becomes impossible to ignore. You weren't perfect, you were alive, you weren't predictable, you were real, you weren't convenient, you were valuable, and real value, can never be replaced. Chapter 4. The day they realized the truth. Yes. That moment. The moment the realization hit them like a punch to the ribs. The moment they understood what they lost. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't cinematic. It was quiet, personal, humiliating. A message they didn't send. A memory they didn't expect to sting. A silence that echoed louder than your voice ever did. A problem they couldn't solve without the one person they pushed away. They tried to convince themselves they were better off without you. And then life whispered, no, you weren't. Watching them choke on their own pride. Delicious. Chapter 5. Your evolution. Something changed in you too. You didn't come back the same. You didn't rise the same. You didn't breathe the same. You came back sharper, colder, wiser, quieter, more calculated. You stopped handing out chances like candy, stopped breaking yourself just to keep others whole, stopped apologizing for existing. Your silence became your armor. Your absence became your power. Your glow became your revenge. Because the best revenge isn't a comeback that screams. It's a comeback that doesn't even look back. He tried to replace you, he chuckles, low, dark, knowing. Because they didn't understand what you were made of. Another laugh, louder this time, sharper. Then they realized. He leans forward, smile widening like a blade. You weren't just part of the story, you were the story. And legends? Legends don't get replaced. They get remembered. They get searched for. They get regretted. They get missed. And you get crowned. Conclusion, your rise walk forward now. Not for them, not for revenge, not for validation. Walk forward because you finally understand. You were never replaceable. They just never deserved someone irreplaceable, and now they can watch, they can regret, they can whisper your name with shame, longing, or fear. But they cannot follow you. Because you're not where they left you. You're already beyond them.